Her opener is, I don't have nipples. And I hope she's okay with me telling the story. It is on TikTok anyway.
It is on TikTok.
And she goes, I don't have nipples. And I was like, tell me more. And it's funny how like the conversation changes to like, we don't have to hold in any of the filters that we'd put up because obviously I'm on national TV. Action. Is this thing on? Tonight, we're drinking the White Series.
First of all, cheers.
Cheers.
Thank you for bringing Aussie wine.
It's my pleasure.
I wouldn't have let you in if you'd have brought French red, because I can't stand French red.
What is it that you hate about the French and their wine?
I've tried different French reds and it just hasn't sat well with me.
I do love a Bordeaux, but Spanish wine, fucking fire. I back that in.
Bordeaux wine?
No, Bordeaux is French.
I know, yes.
It's the northern region.
I only lived in France, it's fine.
Wait, you lived in France and you didn't like their wine?
What
about their cheese?
No, their cheese is fine.
Their cheese is great.
It was only when I lived in Argentina that I fancied red.
Whoa, you lived in Argentina?
Sí, por eso tengo que...
I have...
¿Por qué me estás mirando así?
No.
Con esa cara tan...
No, I know
linda.
nothing.
Oh,
I know
okay.
English.
Oh, I could say anything then.
You could insult me to my face.
You would know hijo de puta and all that.
Oh, yeah. I know the word puta.
Have you ever seen the show or heard of the show Blind Date with Cilla Black?
No.
She would always ask contenders, what's your name and where'd you come from? And that is exactly what I want to know about you.
I'm Benj, and I'm from Australia, Melbourne, and I now live in Londres, in London. I've been here since when? June 2022. Been here for a little while now, and I fucking love it.
Do you?
I do.
Yeah.
But I also feel like it's coming to an end, but I also think it might not be coming to an end.
I'm so
And
confused.
life is everywhere right now.
What a whirlwind.
I know.
You just got here for me, so why do
know.
you leave so quick?
I don't leave so quick. I leave maybe quick. So my visa ends in June.
Oh, it's a
So I'm
visa
in an extension, and I could get sponsorship if I wanted to. But I just went home to visit Fam Bam for a friend's wedding, which was beautiful.
Is that in Melbourne?
Yeah, I was MC of the wedding, crushed it. But being home, it's just like it reminds you, like, oh fuck, this is home. And then I come back here, and I'm like, oh, but this is also home. So now I have two homes, and it's like fucking amazing to say that I have two homes. But it's also like, where do I want my future to be? So I'm battling all these questions right now.
Is that what's going on in Benj's brain?
Benj's brain is chaotic right now.
Right.
And I'm okay with it because it just means I'm thinking about important things. Do I want to stay longer? Potentially. Is it sustainable? Not really. Do I want to go back to Melbourne and settle down? Kinda. Not really. So there's lots of questions
How
that come
old
on
are you?
I am 27.
You want to settle down?
I want to find my wife.
Happy wife, happy life.
Honestly, I want to be a father and a husband.
Okay.
And I tell everyone this, and they're like, what? I'm excited to be a husband and excited to be a father.
Did you come to London to do that?
Far from it.
To be a daddy, yes.
Someone did use that once, and I was like, No, I came to London. It was just stagnant back home. Everything had plateaued. I had finished my degree.
What was in?
Osteopathy. So I did a bachelor and a master's, and I'd started working as an osteopath. And my rental was coming to an end with my cousin. She was like, I want to move in with my boyfriend. I was like, okay. It was 3 a.m. I had my boys over for my birthday, and I rolled over to my best friend, and I was like, I'm going to move to London. That's how it happened.
Just like that?
Just like that. I did always want to move here, but then you get caught up in life, and it just seemed like it was the right time. I had no major ties to anyone other than, like, obviously family. I just had a nephew. I left him at 3 months old. But I was like, he's a blob. I'm not really going to miss much. He's not going to know me. He's not going to be like, oh, he wasn't there. It's me who misses him. And so I was okay with that choice. And I was just like ready to explore on my own. Like I'd never really traveled solo before. So I was like, fuck it, let's just move to the other side of the world on my own, knowing no one.
And this is your first solo travel
Kind of.
situation and...
Proper solo. I did 2 days in Florence when I was 18 and I hated it.
Oh, really? What did you hate about it?
Being alone.
I see. Okay.
I was a
Not
child.
Florence itself. Okay.
No, Florence is beautiful. Have you been?
No, I haven't.
You should go.
I know. I live in a country where it's kind of like a gateway to the rest of Europe, and I haven't really taken full advantage of that. I have been to Australia, though, but not Melbourne.
Melbourne's where it's at, though.
Oh.
For living, yes. For holiday, maybe not.
Yeah, no, I've been to Cape Trib.
Who? You've probably seen more of Australia
It's
than I have.
only the oldest rainforest in the world.
You learn something every day about your own country, eh?
I thought maybe I would have to teach you about Vegemite and how great it is with a spoon, but
I've been there and I've done that.
it really is a great hangover cure. That's the first thing I crave.
Don't get me wrong, I have it every single day on my bagel.
Good.
Cut my bagel in half, pop it in the toaster, butter, Vegemite. But it's like a healthy, thin layer. I don't want to be eating like big amounts of Vegemite.
I Britishized it. First of all, Marmite, no. Vegemite, yes. I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is.
You heard it here first, people.
Exactly.
Vegemite, yes. Marmite, no. From a Brit.
But I have Britishized it in a way. Anglicised it? I don't know. This is my hangover cure. Vegemite with avocado on a crumpet.
That is very Australian.
What? I didn't know you had crumpets there.
I smack crumpets back home.
You do what?
Smack them. Means I eat them a lot.
Smack them.
Yeah, and avocados are massive in Australia. Like if you don't like avocados in Australia, you're shunned. Get out. But no, you've actually really embraced the Aussie culture. Maybe you're actually Australian.
I doubt it.
Yeah, you sound pretty British.
Based off
I doubt it.
Oh, absolutely not. I don't like tea though, but I do love Vegemite. And that is what counts, really.
Yeah, that's the definition of an Australian. Do you like coffee?
I do, yes.
Tick, tick, tick.
I tick all the boxes.
All the boxes.
Tell me about where you are living in London.
I am living near Queen's Park.
Kilburn.
Near West... No. I'm in North Maida Vale, technically.
Ooh.
That's what Hinge says, and that's the important thing.
Yes, Hinge is always the bearer of truth. So.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Including my height, which does say 5'5", because I'm not a liar.
Are you 5'5"?
I am short.
I can reach 5'5" with heels, so... I know.
Look at us, the same height, basically.
In sync with height.
So I live in North Maida Vale. I've been there for 2 years now. I originally was in Stoke Newington when I first moved. Great area, but as I was about to say a newborn. I was not a newborn.
It's a newborn to the England.
Exactly. You just can't really travel anywhere. But this, I've got like plenty of lines and I can get anywhere I want. And now I've got amazing housemates as well. Not that my previous ones weren't amazing.
Yeah, be careful what you say on here.
I know, they might watch it. It's a bit of a boys' house. Which is good fun, but we've always got people coming and going to like level us out. We had a mate on the couch for 5 weeks, 6 weeks, which was elite.
Doesn't sound very North Maida Vale to me, but...
What does it sound more like?
Stoke Newington.
It does.
You're right about East London though. I wouldn't live there because there's just no tubes.
You can't get anywhere. It's only overground or buses. And you know what? I don't really have time for that, even though I catch the overground to work.
I know.
Because it's in the east.
Oh. A lot of people do disagree with me, but the tube is superior, and the reason that people should move to London
is to be on the tube.
Is to be near a tube and to be able to travel as easily as possible.
Northern, a Jubes, or like a Vicky.
What are you doing with the names of these tubes? You've
The Jubes is obviously the Jubilee.
Yeah, no, I did think.
Tell me you don't love it. Wait till you hear what I've done about the Lizzie line. Victoria, Vicky. Bakerloo is just a Bakerloo, it's my baby.
Bakes.
Doesn't hit.
The Bake Off.
The Great British Bake Off, Circle and Hammersmith, whoever rides that, and the District.
Like going around in a circle for what is that even for?
I saw a really good, I think it was actually a Hinge prompt that said, dating me is like the District line. It'll get you where it needs to be, but it'll fuck you on the weekends.
That's not untrue.
It's pretty damn good.
I just got a message from someone that said, I'm your boyfriend. And that was...
That was it.
That was it. I was like... Okay.
You don't get a say in this. You are his boyfriend now.
Yes, that is what he said. I get these kinds of messages a lot.
I feel so bad, and I apologise for...
I mean, that wasn't the worst.
I apologise from the good men side. I do not apologise on behalf of the bad men, because I do not associate with them.
Oh, yes, because you have a podcast, and you
I wasn't going to mention it.
You talk frequently about toxic masculinity.
So the purpose of it is to help men explore mental health and to fight toxic masculinity.
Yeah.
Me and my best mate back home, we created this during COVID, classic COVID thing. But we're just having like really good conversations that were like on a deeper level that I wasn't having with any of my other mates. And don't get me wrong, I love my high school boys. The depth of these conversations, I was like, we need to share this. And then I also had an experience happen to me. He said that this was like the main trigger for like why my life has gone in this direction, to try and impact the toxic masculine world, to then explore what it is for a positive masculine experience, which is like getting in touch with your emotions, understanding what it is to really be a man, which is to be upset and to cry and to check in on your mates and to be okay with change and vulnerability and all of these things, which is all the topics that we discuss. Consent is the biggest thing, and I need ongoing verbal consent, right? So there's been times when like I'll always ask for a first kiss.
Yeah.
Not be like, hey, Can I kiss you?
I quite like that. That's quite nice.
how have
Before
I
we
said it?
open this...
Can of worms.
Would you like to maybe kiss me at one point in the night? Is that basically what you say? No, I didn't mean... I didn't mean me. I meant... Is that what you say?
I need to give you that option to be like, no, I'm okay, or...
And, you know, newsflash, they also want it too. I can't speak for all women, but, you know, I'd rather talk... Because it's just good practice to communicate.
100%.
Communicating is just so important.
Everyone deserves the opportunity to say no.
Yeah.
Everyone, and unfortunately, the way we have been raised and the society that we're in, guys don't realize they're putting women in a position where it's easier to say yes. And if you give them more opportunities to say no, we are reducing that. Don't get me wrong, there are elements that are kind of hard to combat, like if a man's really large, if a man has quite an intimidating face or persona, it can be a lot harder, but you give them more and more options to say no, you can try and counteract some of those things. I'm a small, fluffy guy. I like to think I'm not that intimidating, but it's still the biggest thing.
But then I've actually been stopped on my way home from when I used to live a bit further north. A guy started talking to me at night. He was sort of on the other side of the road. And he was like, no, don't worry, I'm not here to hurt you. And I'm like, saying that, you might know
That makes me feel like I'm gonna get...
Yeah, you might think that you're a great guy and all this. But to a woman who is just seeing you for the first time, they don't know you. They don't know what you're going to do. A lot of guys, they just assume, well, I know that I'm nice and I know that I'm not going to do anything.
You have to assume you look like a predator.
All men do, really, in the dark.
But that's the thing.
So,
I
yeah.
was actually at Waterloo. Talk about London experiences. I'd been on a night out at...
Tonight Josephine, no?
What?
That's the only thing I know about Waterloo bars is Tonight Josephine.
I have no idea.
Okay, well...
I just was out coming home through Waterloo. I'm sitting at a bus stop. It's like 2 a.m. There's a girl at the bus station. So I'm standing further away. I don't want to become intimidating or anything like that. Then my mate FaceTimes me and I'm fucking smashed. So I'm talking, we're having a good laugh. And then the chutzpah on this girl, I hang up, she goes, are you Australian? I'm like, it's 2 a.m, we're in Waterloo and you're speaking to a strange man. The ball's on you. Anyway, obviously say yes, start chatting. Turns out we're both heading in the same direction, both from the same community, end up exchanging numbers and everything. But that was like the first time I've seen a woman be like, hey.
Well, I mean, she got an idea of who you were based off of your conversation with your friend, I imagine. She thought, okay, this guy, first of all, has friends. Second of all, you get an idea of who a person is when they're not just a silhouette.
Yeah.
Speaking of dates, you were on a show.
Yes.
Quite recently.
Aired quite recently.
Oh, it aired. Oh, when was it filmed?
It was filmed last year in like June.
So you came to London and just got yourself on First Dates.
Yeah.
Which is like a channel for... How does dating on camera compare to dating off camera?
I feel like I'm dating on camera now. I'm joking. After your comment, it literally threw me. It was hysterical.
I always bring Vegemite and wine to dates, to be fair.
Let me paint the story, paint the picture. November 2022. I had a friend, she was just on my couch, she was watching TV with me, and she's like, oh, I applied for a dating show. She's like, oh, no way, should I? She was like, yeah. And I was like, cool. So I sent a 1-minute video of myself, talking about myself.
Do you have that video?
No, but she has a video of the video, I think. I can try and get it.
Can you do it right now? Can you perform the video?
Well, I don't remember what it was, because it was like literally 2 years ago now. And then a few months later, I get an email saying like, hey, are you still single, want to come on the show? And I'm like...
Are you still single? No, but I would love to. Anyway...
I had a phone call, then I had a Zoom, and then they're like, come in, we're going to film you. And then they took me out to Bath. Yeah, that's where they filmed this season.
Is that where they do dates?
It used to be at St. Paul's, and they went to Manchester, and now they're in Bath because it's like the 20-year anniversary or 10-year anniversary or something like that.
And therefore we must go to Bath.
Therefore we must go to Bath, the city of romance. And yeah, went on a date, and it aired. And there's actually a TikTok that has 1.2 million views from our date. Me and her were addicted to looking at the comments.
Were they good, bad, ugly comments?
They're entertaining comments.
They're entertaining
There's
comments.
a good mixture. So basically, spoiler alert, we don't end up together. But we're still mates.
Oh, that's nice.
We're still good mates. We did a viewing party the other day with all of our friends. It was adorable. But basically, she has the BRCA gene, which is a gene that increases your chance of getting breast cancer. It's common in Ashkenazi Jews. It goes from 1 in 400 to 1 in 40. I think those are the stats. I could be wrong. Don't hate me.
I won't fact check it.
So she's talking about that in the snippet. Her opener is, I don't have nipples. And I hope she's okay with me telling the story. It is on TikTok anyway.
It is on TikTok.
And she goes, I don't have nipples. And I was like, tell me more. And so like the comments, like the response to my tell me more, people saying, hysterical. You see him lose interest, people praising her, and then there's some misogynistic comments being like, I would have just got up and left. And women, I'm so glad you said that. I hope no one dates you. And I'm just like, here for that, putting these guys in their place.
I mean, really, you've made it because you now have haters, and that is anything anybody wants, really.
Whoa, that's a big realization. I got haters.
Yeah, but like anyone who has an impact is gonna have haters, really. So,
whoa,
I'll drink to that.
Because you're gonna have some haters soon. You probably already do.
I probably already do, yes. A couple of dislikes.
Is there actually a dislike button?
There is, but I don't think
off.
you can. Can you see it? I don't know if you can see it publicly.
So what's the point?
Well, you can see it. I don't know. That's true.
I dislike this. I want to see that I dislike this.
I want only Sam to see that I've disliked this personally, so I'll privately dislike her video. But I don't think publicly you can see it. Maybe you can.
I'm gonna go and like everything to counteract the dislikes for you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Can you do that right now? In terms of why it didn't end.
So basically how it ends is you go on the date, then they tear you apart.
What do you
and
mean?
then, like, as in, you walk out of the restaurant, they pull you apart, and then you do your post-date interview where you sit down like, oh, would you like to go on a second date?
Oh, I see.
So you can't discuss anything. And then after that, you're sort of free to do whatever you want to. We went out for drinks, just the two of us. And it's funny how, like, the conversation changes to, like, we don't have to hold in any of the filters that we'd put up because obviously I'm on national TV. I don't want to mention certain things about my life. And we both immediately start opening up a bit more. We shared a kiss. We went out with some of the other couples that had been on dates. And then we went on a second date and it was just so platonic. It was
Really?
so platonic. She came back from the bathroom. She's like, just want to clarify, we're just friends. I was like, so glad you said it.
That's nice though. Someone did describe dating in London as a jungle, and it kind of is in a
Ooh,
lot of
yeah.
ways. When someone's upfront and is like, you know what, I like you, I respect you, let's just be friends. I hope you're okay with that. That's quite a nice.
Yeah, I think it doesn't have to be a vicious end. Just because you don't want to date and fuck each other doesn't mean you can't be friends.
Yeah.
Like, come on. I actually...
Did you feel the same way?
Yeah. Yeah. I was so
No,
glad
I actually still want to be with her, but
Nah.
Yeah.
Like, there's just no romantic feeling there, which I think it's nice because it proves to people that, like, you can just have friends that are of the opposite sex. Because I know some people are like, you can't have girlfriends. Like, grow up.
I mean, Harry and Sally in, you know, the famous film When Harry Met Sally, they
heard of
talk
this.
about that right at the beginning. Can
Yeah.
men and women really be friends? And I think the conclusion is they can't. But in this argument, they can.
Some of my best friends now are girlfriends. I'll admit, one of them I confess my love to her on a daily. She knows, Mish, love you. But that is more just friendly love. And at the end of the day, we're all just people.
Yes.
We're all just people. Yes, that's my day in life. How's yours?
I think it's going pretty well.
You weren't expecting a question.
Me? My dating life, I do like to date. Dating's fun. Dating is part of the London life for me.
100%.
I have a whole list of places to go in London.
You're going to have to send that to me.
It's a very big list. You
I'm
might be...
okay with that.
It goes from Aldgate, it's A to Z, well, A to W, Aldgate to Walthamstow. It's just, it's
I'm
all...
a serial dater.
Really?
There was one time I literally had to put together like a graphic that told my friends like who I was seeing, how I'd met them, and where I'm going. It was a fun period.
That's hardcore.
It was a
hardcore
fun
dating.
period in my life. It was a very expensive period in my life, but I don't date that hard anymore.
Because you want to settle down in Australia. Trying to go out with someone here is probably a bad idea.
There's conflict, but I'm very upfront with it.
conflict.
There's because like I obviously want to have fun here and still date people.
Actually, my ex-boyfriend was from Melbourne.
No way. Who is he? Do I know him?
No.
Did he live here?
Yeah. He
Where
lives
did he
here.
live? Oh, he
lives
still
here.
lives here?
He lives in Tooting.
Very Australian. I don't fuck around with the Aussies who stay down south.
I lived in Clapham for a bit, and they say it's a breeding ground for Australians.
It is.
But I never met an Australian.
Fuck off. I'm yet to go-
It was during COVID though, so maybe that's why they just all.
Yeah, no, COVID was a
hibernated.
different time. Now I go down to Clapham and I can't go 5 minutes without hearing an Aussie accent or a classic blonde Aussie girl in her Lulus.
What's a Lulu?
Lululemons. The leggings.
I see. I
Yeah.
should have known that.
Lulus are probably the best leggings, hands down.
I
Not
don't
leggings,
spend
but work
money
pants.
on pants. I do love a co-ord, as you can probably tell.
Everyone, put it up for the co-ord.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I fucking love a co-ord.
She's rocking it. Do you mind if I have
Oh
some?
yes, feel free to always take more. You can top me up as well.
Ah, well, I'll top you up first.
I'm curious to know, because you lived in a faraway land down under, did you sort of notice any major differences between here and there?
Ah, yeah.
Whether it's food, snacks, renting, is there a dating difference too?
We'll quickly touch on dating because that's like the smallest difference. I come from the Jewish community and I dated someone for 7 years. And then I broke up with her. And within the Jewish community, everyone knew I was kind of like damaged goods. It was a bit hard to date initially, and then sort
Is
of...
that the Melburnian Jewish community?
Yeah, the Melburnian Jewish
Oh, sorry,
community.
did I say that wrong?
That's all right. You said it with a British twang. It's fine. We'll let it slide. It's a bit more intimate and like everyone knows everything. Like if I kiss someone, my nana knows like 20 minutes later. It's just how the Jewish community works back home.
Sounds awful.
Yeah, so this is sort of why I ended up moving as well. But yeah, the dating scene over there, it's just very insular within that Jewish community. And it's like, I needed to get out of that. Whereas here, when I date someone might know them, but I only find out a couple of weeks later when I've spoken to them about it. There are sometimes when like I check, like our friend Talia, I actually screenshotted a couple of people that I was going on dates with. She's like, yeah, that's actually my cousin, I think. And I know this person through this person. I was like, cool, vibe.
There is a North London Jewish community.
Yes.
The reason I moved to Clapham and Brixton was to prove to myself that it was okay to... This is the thing. I don't like the idea of being with someone who knows everything I already know. And like culturally is...
Preach, sister.
Right?
Fucking preach.
And therefore I moved to Brixton.
And
now I'm back.
You're also back. Let's not forget that. No, but like you at least did something that most people don't. And that is put a foot out the door.
Yeah.
And I think that's the important thing. You've gone, you've explored, so you don't have the same experience as everyone else.
But I was never in that community, really. My parents are quite liberal. They never really cared for any of it, to be honest. Like, my mum doesn't really like being part of a group of people.
Yeah,
so,
no, it's really beneficial.
In that way, I didn't really have that.
As a Jewish guy, when I meet a girl who's got that classic Jewish linear pathway and story, I check out immediately.
Really?
Because although my parents didn't grow up, similar to yours, they didn't grow up in that classic community per se. I did, because I fell into a crowd where we all got along, and then I was like, get me out. It's like as soon as I went to uni, I started making new friends. All of my friends from high school haven't really made uni friends per se. Some have, some haven't. But I made like really good friends from uni. And I dived in, then I moved to the other side of the world, made new friends, etc. Like my ex, she was the most linear pathway girl ever. And like if I see any resemblance of that, I'm like, peace, I'm out.
I don't have anything in common with that kind of
Good,
person.
Fine, we'll date, if we must.
Judaism to me is kind of like, I say this to a lot of people, it's like, I'm a Capricorn, right? People who like astrology care. I don't really care. Judaism, I'm Jewish. People who care about Judaism care. They're just going to see me as that. A rabbi, probably going to always see me as that. Don't care either way. Like, it's like labels that people have put on you that don't really care about them either way.
Well, it's interesting because like I think for me, Judaism is a big part of my life, my culture, and who I am as a person.
That's okay. Each to their own.
But since everything has kicked off in the world, I feel like the people who have maybe didn't associate with Judaism as much have come to the religion and be like, you know what? No, I am proud of it. And I think some people, it's because they've experienced anti-Semitism, not because they're connected to the religion or they're connected to anything. It's so interesting how everyone's experiences have been different. Back to the question of what's different about...
Away from religion and politics.
I came here as a racist. There's not a big community of people who are black in Australia. We say we're a multicultural country, but it's people from Asia. And beyond that, there's no one of Caribbean or African descent. So like when I was walking through New York before I moved here, I held onto my bag a little bit tighter of the shoes that I'd bought earlier. It was like, whoa, Benj, that is not okay. Caught myself out straight away and I was like, what the fuck? So then it started something. And then what's even more fucked up is I saw my friends literally 50 meters up the road. I open up the box on the street and it's like, ugh, it just shows how it was inherent in my body and my brain. I was just raised this way. No fault of my parents or anything. It's just, we aren't exposed.
Yeah.
But we are exposed to media. Right. We are exposed to TV and the movies. And that's what influences our views. And when I came here, I was like, you need to deal with this.
Well, it's good that you had that. You sort of went, okay, this isn't okay. I'm going to, first of all, admit that something's wrong. Not a lot of people do that. Whether that was in the toxic masculinity element of the conversation where you went, okay, I'm a man and therefore I have to change the way I follow women on the street. Or...
that sentence.
Like you have to just cross
I just want to clarify,
road.
I don't follow women on the street.
But you know, it might look like that.
It might look like it. Yeah, you do cross the street just to give them that extra level of security.
It's not your fault, but you, due to other people, have an issue.
Yes. My issue comes from Australia whitewashing and a long line of racism that is now inherent in us. But now I feel like it's fine. It's like I walk around anywhere.
Fine.
Like I live not in Kilburn, near Kilburn, and there's a very big black community And I love it. I like immerse myself in it. And I just wish more of the world did that. So that's one of the biggest differences when it comes to Australian that I personally have experienced. Yeah.
It was good to speak to you and drink wine and also offer the Vegemite.
Offer.
Yeah, well, you didn't say yes to it. Having Vegemite with a spoon is like not
It's
what
not
you guys do.
only when you're pranking your little sibling, which I am the little sibling who got pranked.
Oh.
Hashtag trauma.
Yeah. I trauma dump, so I don't do that. I do have abandonment issues.
We all trauma dump. Hey, do you want to dive into that?
That's not for today.
That's for my podcast.
Anyway, yeah, this is fantastic.
Just give it a go. Worst case scenario, you try it out, you don't like it, you go back home, but you can say, I gave it a crack. A lot of people are scared of the embarrassment coming home. Oh, you didn't make it, blah, blah. No one says, oh, you didn't make it. They're like, hey, fucking sick, you gave it a crack.
Yeah.
I've got a friend who went to New York, didn't work out, fucking sick, you gave it a crack. No one is going to be like, you suck, because you didn't do it.
Yeah, like you failed kind of thing.
Exactly. But if you do it and it succeeds and it's a great time, amazing. And then if you don't do it because you're scared of these, I might fail or whatever, you're going to die regretting it. And that is the last thing we want to do. We live in a society now where we have the most access to the rest of the world than ever before. I come from a very privileged situation where my parents worked their fucking asses off and gave up a lot for me to live a privileged life. I'm going to use that privilege to live the life they wanted me to do, which is why they've never given me any shit for choosing this. They've said, I understand why you want to do it. I'm going to fucking do it, and it might turn to shit. Fine.
You could be in Australia and it might also turn to shit. So
Exactly.
Don't let the fear of striking out keep you from playing the game, as I learnt in A Cinderella Story.
Great reference.
I know, she's great.
She's great.
This has been Sam and
Benjamin. Nah, it's just Benj.
who
Is, oh my God, panicking. I'm from Australia.
not just Australia,
Melbourne.
Ooh. And talked about his experiences on first dates, which is a show I will probably tune in to watch. Episode 6, series 22.
My face is the face of the episode, so you should be able to find it. But more importantly, stay healthy.
Thank you for watching.
Bye-bye. Ta-ta.
That was fantastic.
That was
I
fun. Oh,